Hi, a supervisor I work best for is a supervisor that is honest with me. If I'm ever obviously, I want to be reminded if my work is good. Also, I want to know what I can work on. I would never want anyone to sugarcoat it, but I also want them to communicate it to me in a positive way, kind of here, this is what you're doing wrong, and here's how to fix it. I like constructive criticism. I like always knowing what I can work on, what I can do best on. I would gain confidence of a team member who has many more years of experience than you. I would gain it by getting to know them, finding out their story, kind of if they've done really well with the company, kind of find out why they've done well, get to know them. I think building relationships is really important for work, and especially because I want to go into sales and I've had previous internships and sales experience. And I just think getting to know someone and finding out how you can do better not only gains a friendship, but also kind of a mentor, also. And I think that's how you'd gain the confidence of them. And I think trust is really big in that, also. Um, Give an example of a situation where you had to compromise your own goals or objectives for the sake of a team. Actually, in our discussion board, I was talking about a time in my summer internship where I worked with a fellow intern who was really bright and really smart, but she didn't really like to listen to other people's opinions. And it kind of was difficult for me because I like to synergize and work together as a team, but she really wasn't for that. So basically, I had to compromise what I wanted a lot on projects, about 6 to 7 this summer. But and it really, sometimes I'd get really upset about it and it would bother me for a while, but I had to remember that it was a learning experience working with someone who kind of was difficult, and I kind of learned a lot from it. And I've kind of also realized that if you're going into the workforce, you're going to have people like that. They're difficult to work with, and you just got to deal with it and learn from it and grow from there. Give an example of a time when you made a mistake. I misspelled something in a press release for my public relations internship, and it really killed me. She told me, she's like, I did this when I worked for Ralph Lauren, and it was a learning experience. I really learned from it, and I made it better, fixed it immediately, apologized, made my amends for it. But I really learned that mistakes like that cannot be made, and just can't make spelling mistakes. Describe an instance where you had to think on your feet to extricate yourself from a difficult situation. I was working this summer on a project with my internship also, and girl I worked with again, not to bring her up again, but kind of, and we were getting into it, and I could just tell that morale was going low for everyone. And it just wasn't good, and I basically had to take responsibility for something I really didn't do, but honestly, it boosted morale and it made the situation better. And it honestly low key hurt my ego, but I think it was a good experience for me to be like, you know what? This is a difficult situation. This isn't good. Just make up, be done, and move on and boost morale.